Sorry about. So this is probably going to be a couple videos now because I just had to stop that one. So I was able to do, if you can see right there, that is, come on, focus, right there, is my new knock sensor. Now, I went to a reputable part store, got a good knock sensor. You want to buy a cheap one, that is your call. You might get away with it. I would suggest not. This bracket that I am attached to or bolted to actually is on the block itself. It's actually kind of attached to the back part of the block. So right now I'm not getting a false reading. When I take it off of that bracket, the code pops. But as soon as I pop it on that bracket, it goes away. So I think I may have figured out a solution. Everybody's relocation spot is like up on this area here, where which is not terrible because there's a ground right here and everything. Like it grounds right to the main harness. And everybody also says to cut into this green wire, which goes into there, and then put a diode or something to confuse the ECU. But what I was able to do was, if you can fit your hand back there, and if you can, try not to, but bust the end of the knock sensor off. Like, here's the knock sensor from that Pathfinder. If you can save the factory plug and just bust this piece off with the plug attached to it, like, because it's like you're not going to be using this, right? So why spend the time to take this thing out? Snap this part off with the factory plug if you can. I just like maneuvered my thumb back and forth and my fingers, and it just came all out. Which then you don't have to rewire. You don't have to muck around with the factory system that is in there and meant to protect these motors. This thing is at 300,000 kilometers and runs pretty damn good. Not great, like not 100%, but it's, yeah, I would say a good 90. It's got some good pep still, and it goes. I'm going on a cruise tonight. I'll hopefully have some videos of how it performs, because I've recently done all this. I've put 91 octane fuel in it with octane booster. You know, I've kind of went through all the pipes and hoses and everything, and I actually recommend, you know, all these vacuum lines and stuff, if you can, which I don't know if it has increased. Put a loop, just a small little loop. I work in a fab shop and we deal with a lot of piping and a lot of like pressure, and I guess loops add more pressure. So I started adding little loops to all the vacuum lines. If you can, like, don't like make it crazy. Like just one loop is fine. But if you can, like, you know, just make a nice linear loop on your vacuum lines, I feel it has increased my vacuum and boost. I also have polished the inside of the supercharger and the plenum because there is a lot of like crud from the molding and the casting that is still left behind, and basically just, I mean, sand it down as best you can, grind it, you know, do what you can, and don't have to go straight to town, but it definitely will help. Almost like a port and polish, just not a port, more like a polish. So there's the knock sensor relocation spot. Again, it's just basically right by that red wire. Like right by it. Like it is very easy to kind of get to now. And if it doesn't decide to work, or if it fails or anything, it is now easy to get to, or easier. I do not know if this spot would give not the best reading because it's at the very top of the block. You know, you want it close. You want it as close as possible. That's why it's there. It's there to detect knocking in the block, not in the intake or in the supercharger. So, you know, the sound has to travel all the way through that, which obviously it will, but who knows if it's getting proper signals like it should. So there's just a recommendation. When you have this area taken apart, you know, check the spark plugs, check the spark plug wires, change the spark plug wires, change the spark plugs if you can. Again, change all those cooling hoses. I recommend cutting them. Don't screw around with trying to like pull them off. Just cut them off. They are a pain in the ass to get off, especially if you're not used to it. So it definitely helps to do that. But yeah, there's a quick video on the knock sensor relocation. Hopefully this helps people. It so far is helping me. I've also gonna do a small video if I can on last night I had built I did a previous video on a custom bumper brackets and stuff like that I had made. The winch and technically the custom bumper is in and is there. But yes, I will have to get more in depth with that. But hopefully that helps everyone. And hopefully that gets your Xterras running a little bit better for you. Have a good one.